It's Thursday, October 20th. This is a pre-opening SPY report about an hour to go before trading, and we're looking to see which way the market wants to break relative to yesterday's bar. Do we want to break above it or do we want to break down? At the moment, we are kind of trending towards the breakout to the upside as the pre-market, which kind of started lower, has been moving up. Coming into the open, we'll see where it is with an hour to go. But as discussed yesterday, this could be a key day in terms of the choppiness for the first 3 days. If we can break out higher, then we should have a test of the high 2 days ago, and then in the end, a test of the this big high last week. So we're still in a 2-up week. Green, you can see the pre-market range on the blue lines is still signaling a little higher. Again, time is always important relative to these bars. So on the weekly chart, remember after today, we're going to have just 1 day to go in the week. So we'll kind of anticipate more so tomorrow where this weekly bar looks to be ending up, and that'll kind of lead us into next week a little bit. In other words, we still have 2 days here to kind of take out this high, which is the 2-up target, and we'll just kind of see what's developing relative to that by next week. I mean, by the end of this week, and see if we think we're going to continue up there or if that's going to fail. But we're getting closer to determining that. But anyway, today, as we kind of move up to the top of this pre-market range, since it's a potential key breakout day, to me, I could see if the market starts up pretty strong here above this line. Let's assume this is where the line ends at 8:30, and you get a big strong 5-minute bar green above that line. I could see trying a breakout play before the 15-minute bar ends, and again, you play that trade very tight. You almost take the mid-range of that first 5-minute bar if you play that breakout, and just see if the 15-minute bar turns green. And if so, then then you're looking for that confirmation where the second 15-minute bar continues higher, because again, we're looking for a key breakout at this point. So but it has to be a very strong 5-minute bar. We'll see if that develops or not at the open. The normal play again is still the 15-minute chart and kind of seeing how it opens relative to this range. But what we're looking at here again is just this bar yesterday was kind of a potential failed breakout to the downside. So that's why if we can start up and just kind of get above this pre-market range, which is above the midpoint of yesterday, again, we have our, we're still biased to the fact that we're heading up and broadening. In the bigger picture on the daily chart, this big move broadened lower, and then had a big reversal bar. We're kind of chopping around, but kind of working our way up possibly to the top of the broadening formation to the upside. And even on the 15-minute chart, it's just yesterday could have been a temporary broadening lower, after, higher highs here, lower lows here, and now we're kind of working up again to broaden out in the in this smaller picture here, which means once we get above there, we're then kind of still working our way up in the bigger picture to broaden out to the upper target. So there's kind of a double little chain reaction thing developing if we get that strong open today. So let's see where it goes. I'm trying to think, if it fails, let's say we do head up, for example, and fail to reach this target here on the daily chart, yesterday's high, and come back to the midway point of this little range, then that could be a reversal signal. Same thing on the downside. If we open down and try to fill this gap that I talked about, there is a gap here on the lower chart. Doesn't look like we're opening lower, but if we did and went lower, it's still possible there was a gap to fill, and we could have come back above the midpoint of that bar. That means 50% rule to get long. So we'll keep that in mind as the failure of anything that starts up, for example, since it looks like we're starting to the upside. If we kind of head above here, can't reach our target, and then come back to the 50% mark of this bar, then it looks like we could end up with a failure week developing with 2 days to go. So keep that in mind. So let's see how it opens today. Again, seems to be wanting to be biased to the upside, and you can, we'll see if it's an aggressive play right out of the open to the upside, or if, again, it takes a little time to form. But again, these two blue lines are going to be the key to where price goes today, and possibly where it, starts going for the, weeks ahead.